Hi, my name is Jonathan Keith, and you are listening to Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today's story is about a boy who was walking his dog before dinner, but vanished less than a block away from his home. More than 20 years later, we still do not know the whereabouts of Stephen Kraft. Someone knows something.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
This sounds like the reason we started Missing Midwest right here.
Missing kid.
A missing
right
child.
Here. Yep.
So I'm going to cross letting my kids walk the dog off the list of anything they can do. They can now go from their bedroom to the living room, and that's about it. That is the worst. That's the reason. Somebody asked me the other day, what made you want to start a podcast? I said, because after I had kids, I think the worst thing, losing a child in any sort of catastrophe, disaster, sickness would be absolutely horrible, but the not knowing is the worst thing that can happen to a mom, I think. And through doing this, we're almost at 50 episodes. I've talked to a lot of moms, and it's literally horrific. I cannot imagine. So, yeah, 20 years of not knowing where your kid went after he went to walk his dog.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Awful.
I can't wait to hear this story.
Yeah,
have I heard of it before?
Maybe not.
Where are we at?
We are in Michigan, I believe.
Okay.
Benton Harbor.
Okay.
We'll get to the details in a minute. We do have
before?
some announcements we need to hit before. First of all, I got to give a big shout out to my guy, Liam. All right. He's one of my students. He's a big Missing Midwest fan, and he is about to turn 11. Liam and I absolutely shook Mr. Keith's class a couple weeks ago with the magic trick. Liam,
gosh.
I've told this story to like 100 people, but
the magic trick.
yeah,
yes.
my guy Liam, legendary. His dad is a magician as well. And so to be able to rope him into a trick was awesome, dude. I could learn so much. He gave me in our parent teacher conference. His dad gave me a magic trick lesson. And I need to practice that trick. It was a good one. I was like, this is awesome.
So you weren't even like conferencing. You were just doing magic with this kid's parents?
Allegedly.
Yeah, okay.
But no, awesome kid, awesome family. Also, happy birthday shout out to Kimberlyn. She's in my class as well, and she had her birthday a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So happy birthday to her as well. Do you have any shout outs you would like to give?
I don't think I have a shout out. I made a new shirt. I'm going to post a new shirt. We have shirts on our merch store. We have stickers on our merch store still.
True.
Oh, stickers. If you see me in public, get me a sticker. I do have an exciting little thing. I tried to play it really cool the other day. I was at a meeting and somebody came up to me that I've never met before and that I did not know, and she was like, I just wanted to meet you. She was like, I love Missing Midwest. And I was like, oh, and I tried to play it really cool, but I gave her a sticker. Her name was Abby, and it actually made my day. So
That's awesome. Shout out to Abby.
Complete stranger saying she listened to the podcast, so that was exciting. I was going to tell Hillary, I hope your recovery is going well from your LASIK. She posted that she just had LASIK surgery and she was catching up on her Missing Midwest episodes during her recovery.
Respect.
Which I feel like if you had LASIK and you just have to lay there with your eyes closed and listening to a podcast would be
we should start marketing through
Let's get a LASIK sponsor.
Hey, you getting LASIK soon? Start listening to Miss Midwest. We got you covered.
Speaking of sponsors, Bo Digital and Amber White re-upped with us. Thank you for that. We
Absolutely.
love them. So we'll keep giving them shout-outs. If you're buying a house in Kokomo, talk to Amber. If you need marketing help, anywhere. Bo Digital is not just in Kokomo. Bo Digital is anywhere. They can help you with marketing, big or small business. So shout them out.
Respect.
Oh, and it's Bo, B-O-W-E.
That was a good point that somebody made.
I think it was Hillary, too.
Might have been.
She said she was looking for Bo, and she didn't put the E on the end, and she couldn't find it. So it's B-O-W-E Digital.
That's right.
So if you need to find them, make sure you're spelling it correctly.
It's one of those things that you never think about when you're the one talking to a microphone because
you
know how to spell it.
I know.
It makes sense in your head.
I think that's all I have.
The only other announcement I have is that there are now 18 exclusive episodes that have been released from Murdered Midwest, and there's another one coming every Friday. And so if you have been thinking about hopping on to our subscription for the exclusive content, you're going to get some stickers. You have 18 episodes that you can listen to with another one coming each Friday. You'll be supporting this podcast. That helps us pay Cody. That helps us keep everything going so that we can keep doing this. We love doing this podcast. Yeah, for sure. We have some goals that we have to hit this year in terms of subscriptions to be able to keep doing it, and your subscription is a huge help to that, so thank you. Are you ready for the story? That was my last announcement.
I think so.
I'm ready to get into it.
You know what's stressful? Buying and selling a house. Just over a year ago, we were in the middle of the process, and it was overwhelming. I am so thankful that we had someone like Amber to guide us through the process. She knew what to do and when to do it. You were so concerned about pricing and loans, and I was just concerned with the colors and the layout. Oh, you remember that?
Yes. Amber kept everything in mind, and we are in our dream house because of her. If you are looking to buy or sell in or around the Howard County area, you have to give Amber a call, or you can just give her a text, 765-865-1118.
You can follow her on Facebook at Amber White, Realtor/Broker with Carrie Gruhl and Associates. She posts the latest listings, giveaways, and even helpful home tips.
We are so grateful for Amber and all her help. A couple months ago, we started talking about that list of FBI cases, 43 missing persons cases that the FBI released, and they were asking for help. They believe that all 43 of those cases can be solved. They believe what we believe, that someone knows something.
Yeah. And some of them, I was going to say, some of them are a little short.
True. And when I actually read this one. This was one of the first ones I read. And I was like, oh, you know what? There's not quite enough there. Let's do the others. And so we have. I mean, we've done, I think, 4 or 5 of the others. But in my head, this case kept coming in. It's like, no, you need to do every one of these that are in the Midwest.
Yeah. And we're like, listen, they're in the Midwest. And the freaking FBI said that they can be solved. Yeah. So I don't care. It might just be a 20-minute episode. Right. I don't know. But we need to share it. We need to talk about it.
Yes.
There's apparently this one, there's a mom out there who has absolutely no idea where her son is after 20 years.
Brutal.
He just went out to walk his doggy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so we'll get into the details about it a little bit. It's in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Population.
Never been there.
I don't think I have been either.
Where is it on the hand?
Oh, that's a good. We always ask this. So it's Southwest Michigan, right along Lake Michigan. It's like right across from Chicago. So if you have your hand, it's like the bottom left of your hand, kind of across from Chicago there.
That honestly doesn't tell me much, but okay.
Population is about 9,000 people. They have $1 General, which
that's not enough.
Not enough for 9,000 people.
You guys need to be petitioning for some more Dollar Generals there. Jeez. Hey, you said you're gonna tell our.
Yes, I mentioned this yesterday in the Murdered Midwest episode, but I'll tell everybody. I shot my shot with Dollar General. I got a hold of somebody over there, and they gave me an email address to the person that runs Dollar General sponsorships. So at this point, it's been over a week since I emailed them. I haven't heard back yet, but I did want you guys to know
catching up on all the episodes.
That I shot my shot with Dollar General.
Did you? This is something I didn't ask. Did you tell him that they could just pay with in-store credit for me?
I did not mention that. But that I should have. That would have been good.
Because they got they're releasing their new spring line right now, home decor,
you blow the
and
whole
it's
thing in one
pretty
shot.
nice.
Is what you're saying?
There's some really cute baskets in there. Not that I need any more baskets. I am in the middle of cleaning out my art room to make a nursery for the child that I am carrying.
That child.
And I did have a little bit of a come to Jesus moment about the amount of baskets I own.
You have a lot of baskets.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that. Probably just embrace it, I guess. It could be something worse.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not addicted to something bad, so baskets. Whatever.
Baskets.
Probably most of them from Dollar General. Anyway,
True.
Okay, go ahead. Benton Harbor, Michigan.
$1 General.
Somewhere near Chicago.
Yep, it's like across the lake from Chicago. It's about 40 minutes north of Indiana. So you're like 40 minutes from the state line.
Oh, okay.
Again, we have a missing person case close to state lines. I hate that. I mean, I feel like there's so many missing persons cases.
There it is.
Cody's there you go. See, very bottom left of the hand.
You're right.
Yep. All right. So his name.
That's like almost on the wrist.
Yeah.
You should have said that.
Jeez. Okay. His name is Stephen Kraft. He is. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my place there when he showed me the hand because it was perfectly down at the bottom left, like I said. On February 15th, 2001, Stephen Kraft was at home with his family. It had been a hard week for Stevie, as his parents called him. He had just finished up day 5 of a 5-day suspension. At first, when I read this, I was like, "Here we go. We have the situation where we have a troubled kid, and nobody's looking for him."
Yeah.
But that's not the story at all. He was in 6th grade. He'd been suspended for fighting, but I think the school even told his parents that it was self-defense. It was like, hey, he was fighting, so we got to suspend him. But I don't think the parents were super upset with him about it. It wasn't like he was a troubled kid. It was an isolated incident. So like take that stereotypical troubled kid runaway scenario right out of there, because that's not what we had here. His family wasn't really concerned about it being a lingering thing. It was an isolated incident. He served his suspension. It was time to move forward. Okay. So, it was almost like a glad that's over kind of thing. Let's get back to school next week. Let's enjoy the weekend. Yeah. So it's Friday night. Part of his routine every day was to take his dogs out before dinner. He had German Shepherds. We're going to ask me? I knew you were. I knew you. I looked it up. In fact, first source I read didn't mention what kind of dogs they were, and I was like, I must know. I agree. And so,
did you get a name of the dog?
You know what? They did not have the names of the dogs, and I looked in several sources, and I actually was like, you know what? Okay.
So it was more than one dog.
It was. He had a puppy, 6-month-old puppy, and the other one was much older. But 2 German Shepherds.
Listen up. If you're a small business owner like myself, you understand the value of time. There is always something to be done, and it's up to you to do it. Your business is your baby, and you rarely can trust others with it. But what if I told you that I had somebody that you can trust, someone that can save you time and help your business grow? I do. With Bo Digital, you have access to an entire team that will be there for you with marketing and advertising. It doesn't matter what the size of your budget or your business is. Bo can help you take the stress of marketing off your plate and free up your time to do more of the things you love to do with your business. Bo is a marketing company and a business partner, but my favorite thing about them is that they have become true friends. You can find out more about them and what they offer at bodigital.com. Take it from me and put a bow on it.
So between like 7 and 8 p.m. that night, or having a later dinner, he took the dogs out. His mom was making dinner. She was like, okay, he'll come in real quick before we eat. It was below freezing, so she kind of assumed it'd be a short trip anyways. But she said she saw him throw on his teal Charlotte Hornets jacket, which we all can remember back in the 90s and early 2000s, these puffy basketball. I can see this jacket perfectly in my head. Okay. So I got it. She said he didn't take his hat or gloves. He was just running out to take the dogs for a short walk, and then he was going to come right back in. Yeah. Potty. Yep. They lived on a dead end street, so I remember.
It's like a neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of. Yeah. It's on the edge of the town, basically. Okay. And so I remember when we lived in Swayze, I would take Tebow out sometimes and just walk to the end, walk right back. Yep. It was an easy part of the routine. So it reminded me of that. I'm picturing that in my head. Yeah. And so, she kind of finished preparing dinner, and she goes out and calls Steven in, and she couldn't see him. And she yells his name a few times, and nothing, which to me, I'm like, that's terrifying. However, they didn't panic just yet because his older sister was married, and she lived on the same street. She lived at the end of the street. Okay. And I think she had a kid. And so it was common for Steven to go down and visit with the nephew.
That makes sense.
So again, you're looking at 8 o'clock. She's done with dinner. He's not home. She's like, oh, he probably went to see his sister.
Yeah. Okay. Makes much more sense.
Yeah. But so then at 9:30, they called the sister. An hour and a half is too long for him to be down there. Yeah. And so she calls the sister, and now they're very concerned.
Absolute
because he's not there. Yeah.
And wasn't there at all.
No.
Great.
Yeah. So, they obviously rush out to look for him, and they see it's snow. There's snow. So they have footprints to follow. Oh. Okay. And so they find these footprints, which led past an ice-covered pond.
Like a kid and dog print?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so it goes to this pond. The footprints do, and they're like, this is not good. Not good at all. But the pond is completely iced over. Okay. So there's not a situation of
no holes.
It's not like he went and dropped in the middle of the pond. Okay. And so these.
But the footprints went to the end of the pond.
They go to the end of the pond, and then they go on. Yes, and then they go on further. Okay. But yeah, so it's clearly he went to look at the pond, and then they kept walking. Okay. Yeah. So this led them past a place called Harbor Haven Ministries, which was about 1 block south of their house. So pretty close. We're still close to the home at this point.
What is Harbor Haven Ministries?
It's from what I understood, it's kind of like what in Kokomo we call oh gosh, I can see the guy's name. Super nice guy that runs
Newton?
it. Yes. Yeah. What was that?
Urban Outreach?
Yeah, Urban Outreach. So from what I understand,
like a community ministry.
It's like a community ministry that's like a food pantry kind of thing. That's kind of something like that. And it's like 1 block from the house. So it's like it wouldn't be even weird for him to like walk over there with the dogs. Yeah. It's like right there.
Want to know what one of the best decisions I have made for myself lately is? Stanley Cleaning Company. In this season of life we are in, with kids, practices, jobs, and pregnancy, it just makes sense to have a little extra help, and in turn, a little extra time. Christine comes to my house every other week and sweeps and mops for me, and I am not kidding when I say it is the best. She leaves my home smelling amazing and literally sparkling. We thrive in a clean environment as a family, and this service is the best thing I've ever spent my money on. It saves me time and energy, 2 things I'm greatly lacking lately. It can be a simple sweep and mop or a deep clean, home or office. It can be weekly or monthly. It's whatever you need. Plus, it's a local small biz, and you know I love supporting fellow business owners and entrepreneurs. Give her a call or text her and let her know what you want done. 765-860-3606.
So Steven's dad said that when they got there, there was a man there, and he advised the family where to look. Like he said, I think they went that way. Again, there's tracks, but it's like not a deep snow. So it was like, depending on where they were, the tracks were easier to see in other places. So it was like, they couldn't really see the tracks when he said they went this way. And
Did
first
the guy
of all, he said that they went that way. Yeah. Okay. But they never found him. So like my brain's doing the same thing your brain is doing. They're like, wait a minute here. Like we talked to this guy, and my brain's just trained to be like, this guy's a suspect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? like this is not good. But like in hindsight, it's like if I were somewhere and they were like, hey, have you seen a kid? I'd be like, yeah, he went that way. Like it could be as innocent as all get out. Yeah. No source has listed this guy as a suspect at all. But like, again, like you said, my brain was like, wait a minute, so yeah, nobody mentioned, he was mentioned as the large man is all it says. Yeah. But like sus, but nothing seems to be suspicious around this person.
Did he work there?
Yes. So the man worked there and like was known to work there. Okay. And so
that eases my mind a little.
Yeah, exactly. When the missing kid in such a small area, everyone is a suspect, but they have, obviously never found the kid. He was never mentioned as a suspect, as a lead or anything like that. I think it was just an innocent, like they were desperate, and he was like, I think I saw a kid over that way. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all the searches came up empty. There was new snow too, so like footprints were recovered.
Like, did they even call the cops immediately?
I mean, after they couldn't find him
that night.
Yeah, that night. So again, you're at 9:30. You're running around in the dark at this point. Yeah. It's snowing, so like prints are being covered too. So that was like, some places footprints were more prominent than others. Some places like it's snowing over it. So that was tough. It wasn't just a clear like follow his footprints to the body kind of thing, or not. So they couldn't find anything. So obviously there's all kinds of people searching at this point, like over the next coming days. They've talked to the police, all that. On the 3rd day, one of Steven's dogs came home.
Oh, I totally forgot about the dogs.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So
the dogs and Steven at this point
were missing together.
We're missing together for 2 full days. On the 3rd day, one of Steven's dogs came home.
Just showed up.
Yes. Yeah. The older one. The older one. And so obviously the family had hope. No, nothing wrong with it. They were like, what the heck? And they took the dog back and were like, okay, like, where's Steven? Like, show us. I mean, he's a German Shepherd, you know? I mean, it's like, And so the dog led the family right back to the pond where he went, but like stopped at the pond.
That's the only way where he would go.
Yeah, and like that there's no evidence that.
But the footprints left the pond.
Yeah, so like when the original footprints on that night.
Yeah, on that night. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
I hate that.
I know, and so like they like get to the pond and they're like, what do we do here? And the dog's like not going anywhere else. So then the next day, so like day 4, they found his 6-month-old puppy about 1.5 miles north of the Kraft house. So again, if you remember going back, like
the ministry was south.
And the guy said he saw a kid and dogs going a certain way down there. And
the
then
puppy was
4
north.
days later, they find the puppy north.
How far north? What do you
About a block. Yeah, a mile and a half north. A mile and a half north.
Is where the puppy was found, and then a block south was where the guy said he saw the kid.
So my thing is...
Wait, what condition was this puppy found in?
Fine.
I mean, what area? Was it a woods? Was it wilderness?
I think it was in the woods. In the
during
woods.
A search?
Or like it came out of the woods like a month and a half north. I think it came out of the woods.
How many days after this?
This is day 4. And it had been snowing. A German Shepherd, so...
I'm surprised this little puppy that was only 6 months
I mean,
old
6 months.
survived that.
A 6-month-old German Shepherd is not like... That's not like, oh, little puppy in your arms. Like you have puppies, right, Cody? Like a 6-month-old. How big are we talking here?
A German Shepherd?
Like a almost looks like a
in the snow by itself?
A German Shepherd?
In Michigan?
It's not a blizzard. It's just snowing.
Yeah, but it's in Michigan. There's
you know
wild,
how Michigan people are. I'm sure their dogs are the same way. Oh, well, it's not 9 inches.
Cold.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's like it's summertime up here.
All our Michigan listeners.
Sorry, guys.
I remember being in college.
That was it. All my college teammates and stuff from Michigan were like, oh, it's -10 here in Indiana. I bet you it's like -97 in Michigan.
True. Still.
But yeah, no, the puzzle here. South Harbor.
Can a 6-month-old puppy survive 4 days by itself in the Michigan wilderness in the snow?
You're talking wilderness. It's in a town. It's probably eating scraps and stuff. It's not like
you said it was in a woods.
Okay, but a mile and a half north, there's woods in Greentown.
Whatever.
It's not like
there's wild animals there. I feel like he would have been a victim of.
Regardless, the fact that this puppy, in my head, was with either Steven or the older dog for the entirety of the whole thing until the older dog went home.
Yeah.
Why didn't the puppy follow him?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. Why did Steven was seen south of the house near Harbor Haven Ministries, but the puppy was found a mile and a half north? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't like that at all. The FBI actually became involved very quickly with this case. Yeah. They assigned a team of more than a dozen people to this case.
What?
And they were focused on a 10 square mile area that they searched extensively. Okay. Law enforcement officials, the local fire department, and a team of 300 plus volunteers scoured the fields, woods, and sewer systems around this home. Helicopters equipped with infrared cameras were also used to scan the ground below. This is all happening within 4 days.
Jeez.
Yeah. And
they found
nothing. Over 200 tips came in. That's a lot of tips.
Yeah, in 4 days.
I mean, and again, the tips could have been, they could have been from past that. But it said here that there were actually multiple suspects listed throughout different times of this case.
I was just going to say, did that say what the FBI thought? Like, did they ever say they thought he ran away? Or did they think he was the victim of foul play?
So the theories,
or did he get
the fact that
lost?
he was I think they ruled the theory out about being lost when they did the 10-mile thing. So I think the initial theory was that he got lost when he left because he went south past the pond.
11?
I think so.
11-year-old would get lost.
Right.
There.
Only thing, like if it was snowing, he's trying to get his dogs. Like the
and
original
I feel like those
theory,
dogs would have stayed with him. If
the original theory was he chased the dogs. Like the dogs ran and he chased them and got lost.
Okay.
That was the original theory from what I understood.
Okay.
But the 10-mile radius.
They thought they would have found him.
And then the dogs coming home.
And the dog, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And he's definitely not in the pond because the pond wasn't broken, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I guess that's still a theory. Like one of the theories is still but they searched the pond after, at the time. At the time, one of the theories was he went out in the pond, but the footprints didn't say that.
And not broke completely.
But I mean, when you we can't find a kid. All theories are,
sex offenders.
And so
that's my first thing.
Nothing.
The man lurking by the mission creeped me out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what registry are you on, sir?
Yeah. Well, and again, it said that they had suspects listed, but eventually were cleared. So those suspects are not listed. You can't find them now.
Also, PSA, complete sidebar. If you're not checking your local sex offender registry frequently, what are you doing with your life? Because I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I actually found out that one of my neighbors was...
we
lived in an apartment complex.
I was going to say, not one of our neighbors now.
No, we lived in an apartment complex a while ago when we first got married, and I was looking, and it came up with my own address, and I was like, what? And it was our neighbor, and he was registered as a violent sexual predator. He was super nice to me all the time, but yeah, I mean, you just need to be aware. aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
That's public knowledge. Educate yourselves.
Yep.
Ask questions about your kids and who they're with. Remember one time Roman, our youngest, came home and he told us that a man came to his preschool and read him a story.
Master.
His name was Master Matt. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, Master Matt read us a book. And
we were obviously concerned.
I was like, what in the world? And I called the school and I was like, who is Master Matt? And they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, well, my son said that this man named Master Matt came to the school and read a book. And they were like, Pastor Matt? And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
The church, I mean, the school, the
school
preschool was at a church.
Yeah. But and my immediate next question was like, has he had a background check? And she was like, he's a pastor. And I said, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a pastor. If you're going to be around my kid, you're getting a background check. I'm going to check to see if you're on a registry. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. So was he on a registry? Anybody? Did they check? I'm sure they checked.
I'm sure they checked. Yeah. So again, and I don't know if that's where some of the suspects came from, but everyone was cleared. There was nothing. Gosh. There was nothing substantial at any point in time, or at least that they released. They asked Steven's dad to take a polygraph test, which he did.
I was going to ask about the dad.
And passed. And again,
was he
I'm not
home
taking
when
polygraph
all of this
tests.
happened?
Yes, everybody was home.
Okay.
So it was like everybody was home for dinner. Again, it was just such a routine part of the family's night, you know. And the family was always cooperative and worked hard, whatever the cops need, like throughout the whole search, whatever they needed. They did not hold up the cops whatsoever. And unfortunately, Steven is still missing.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at your work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.
Yeah, again, FBI came in right away, 10-mile radius. Like I just see them, everybody doing their due diligence.
I thought you were going to tell me that nobody looked for him until day 5, and that the police said for the first 12 days he was a runaway, and the parents didn't report him Again, the FBI was literally feet on the ground within 3 days of him missing, and they did not find him. I
mean, I literally myself did the same stereotypical stuff when I first looked in the story. You have a kid suspended, runaway. And it's just like taking away all of that. Like, I don't believe that's what happened at all. Why would you take your 2 dogs? And like the mom said, like he left wearing his jacket. He didn't grab a hat. He didn't grab gloves.
He didn't have plans to run away.
Did not have plans to run away. He was not taking his 2 dogs and just running away.
And I don't feel like he got lost because I feel like he would have been found.
And you think about it, he knows this area, right? Like his house is there, his sister's house is there. He walks his dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs with him.
Yeah, the only thing
2 German shepherds. He would have been able to find some source of, life.
Exactly.
Within 4 days, you know what I mean?
The hard part. I don't think
dogs would have left him either.
Right.
In my mind, dogs are just such loyal. I don't think they would.
But see, to that point though, this is over 20 years ago. If he died in those woods, we'd have found him.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like springtime came, Hunter. Like
20-something springtimes have come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's.
I mean.
And they searched the lake, obviously, or the
it's
pond.
not like he would have been hidden. If he ran away, somebody would have found him.
Yeah.
Stumbled across.
So I mean, foul play.
They did infrared.
Foul
right
play,
off.
right? Had to be foul play. Had to be.
That's the only thing.
If you don't have a body, there is foul play, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't like it at all. I hate it.
And so
lot.
yeah.
So how old would he be now?
Like our age, like 33, 34.
That is so
obviously
sad.
The FBI thinks this case is solvable, or else it wouldn't have been on this list of 43. Like I said, I couldn't find a list of those suspects or how they came to be suspects or why they were cleared. I would love to know those details.
I mean, if the FBI is clearing people, I have to assume that they know what they're doing.
Yeah, right. Well, and the fact that they were there so quickly. It's not like this is a cold case we were looking into. Like they were like right away. Like let's see what we can do here.
I don't like that. I feel like with snow, you should have been able to just been like walked right to where he was at.
Yeah. Well, and again, like that was the hard part of it because it was snowing.
Ugh.
So like tracks are being covered, and then there's some place, you know how it is, like in short grass, it's like, oh, there's the tracks, and tall grass, it's like it's hard to, see where it goes or whatever.
I hate that.
Yeah. The FBI, I do think the FBI thinks it was foul play though. Like after the initial like looking into it, it was like, this is foul play.
Did you happen to did you get like an exact address of the house or anything? Were you able to like do a Google map?
So there's nothing there anymore. All the houses have been cleared. Yeah, over sometime in the last, I think it was like 10 years ago, they like did something to that side of town, and there's none of those houses exist anymore.
I was hoping to like Google Earth it and look and see like.
No.
So there's an 11-year-old boy just missing.
I believe he was 11. He might have been 12 because I think he was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So I said 11, but he could have been 12.
Wow. Hate it so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, someone knows something. We need to share this with our people up in Michigan. You know, maybe somebody heard something about, town rumors or whatever. I want to know what the town
rumors are in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'll have to post it in the page up there.
The Facebook pages, yeah.
I always find the Facebook pages for these towns and post our cases there, and people comment some crazy stuff like, oh, I knew so-and-so's sister that said this and this and this.
Yeah. Like I said, the FBI believes it was foul play. So in that case, someone knows something. This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I.